Hey guys, I'm finally doing a video. I know it's been like a year since I've done a video. Um, yeah, lots happened. I know for a lot of you too, but I've missed seeing you guys and I've missed sharing videos, and I actually just finished a session with a client and had something interesting happen that I wanted to talk to you guys about because I thought this is exactly something I would have done a video about like a year ago when I was more into doing videos and more focused. But anyway, thank you for bearing with me on my absence. It's been a hell of a year, which I think it has been for a lot of you guys too. What I want to talk about, and I'm really passionate about this, which is why I'm kind of excited that this has happened. I wanted to talk about why certain people are in your lives. So this is about soul contracts. This is about why the difficult people are there, why the painful relationships are there, the challenging ones, the button pushing ones, the ones that really make you dive deep to take care of yourself and to maintain your own sense of balance and worth and integrity and safety and all of that. There are reasons these people are in your lives. And this is a lot of the work I do with clients, which is exploring relationship contracts on a soul level with kind of more difficult people. So usually this is around parents, partners, children, siblings, close friends, people who are really close to you. Those are the ones that are really the highest button pushers for a lot of reasons. But then it ripples out into varying different relationships as well. So every one of your clients, there's a reason they're in your life as well. And the most recent client, the one I had just now, he's a perfect example, and I got really excited because I thought, oh my God, I can share this with you guys. He actually is the only client in my entire roster who does not fully believe what I believe on a spiritual level. He's got his own very firm sets of beliefs around religion and spirituality. He's actually Catholic, but he's very open to energy. So he comes to see me for Reiki, and we do chat, and he sees me for therapy as well. But we don't do any of the past life work. We don't do any of the inner child work, spiritual work, shamanism. We don't do any of that together because he's not comfortable with that. And I fully understand that. It's very odd to have a client who isn't open to that because all my clients come to me because of that. But he's in my life for very specific reasons, and I figured this out pretty quickly. We've actually been working together once a week for a year, so this has been long and intense. And the first few months, I was highly anxious to see him because I was really thrown off to work with someone who really didn't believe what I believed, and not only didn't believe it, but was pretty vocal about it and pretty not rude, but very enough to set me on edge. Like, he would just make little comments, and I just kind of was like, why is this guy even seeing me? He doesn't believe in mediumship. He didn't believe in souls. There's a lot he doesn't believe. And I didn't really understand why he kept coming to me, but he kept coming. And so that's when I knew, okay, this is bringing up things within me, a lot about self-worth and self-trust issues, because he's everything that I struggle with in this life in terms of finding my power, finding my worth. He's a much older man. He's highly, highly educated, very, very intelligent. I mean, genius level intelligence. Very intimidating because he's very articulate, and he can, he gives great arguments. He just has ways of making his point that sometimes can leave me speech, like not sure what to say or not sure how to move around it. And that kind of intelligence, especially with a masculine energy who is older than me, it feels very much like an authority, is my hot button, my personal hot button around power and worth and safety and speaking my truth. So you guys know I'm super passionate about the chakras and what they all mean, and I've always shared with you guys my biggest issue is around empowerment and worth. So that's the solar plexus, and then it also feeds up into the throat and speaking my truth. And so the reason this client is in my life, one, I actually really adore him. I have a lot of affection for him, and we've actually become pretty good friends throughout the process. But the biggest reason is because he, without meaning to, he causes me to have to set my boundaries repeatedly. So we'll have lots of talks that have nothing to do with spirituality, and then he'll, when we're doing therapy or whatever, and then he'll make a comment that is kind of directed at my belief system, and he'll do it in a joking manner, but it's enough that it kind of pokes at me, and that's my indication that I can't back down, because when I was younger and I would encounter someone like that, I would immediately get very small. My energy would get small, my voice would get quiet, I would lose my power because I was giving it away, and I would basically kind of shut down. I would just kind of be like, okay, maybe not maybe he's right, but maybe I don't have the right to speak up, or I don't have the right to share my point of view or argue or anything, set any boundaries. So I'm a lot older now, and so I'm very aware that when he does that, and I can feel it in my gut, it's just a twinge, but I can still feel it even 40 years into dealing with this issue. But it's my indication that that is my time to set a boundary. And it happened tonight where he made a joke, and it was fairly insulting, and it kind of insulted my whole belief system, and he did it as a joke, which he does. But usually I can brush it off, but this was one where I was like, oh, okay, I know what's going on. I need to say something. And he was laughing, and he was just kind of like going on and wasn't paying attention. That's half the time he's not aware that he does this. So he's not cruel. He's just kind of oblivious and kind of barrels through life and just says things and then moves on. But it was a huge indication to me. My reaction, my gut, I felt like I kind of got kicked in the gut a little bit, and my throat started to like tingle. And that's my indication, because I'm very tuned into my body and my chakras. I was like, my soul issue is getting hit, my issue around empowerment and worth. And so I think he asked me something else. And I set a very firm boundary. I said, listen, I know you don't believe what I believe, and I'm not comfortable going on and on about my beliefs when it's going to fall on deaf ears and on somebody who isn't open to it. And I fully respect that you don't believe that. That's totally fine. But I'm not going to allow you to kind of put me on the spot, because he actually kind of was saying, tell me why you believe this. What is this about? I need to know. And not in a way of like, please educate me. It was more like he was looking to fight me a little bit. And so that was a test for me. I didn't get mad. I mean, we never fight. It's, we actually really do care about each other, but it was a huge test for me to kind of set my boundary really firmly and say, I'm not going to talk about this with you, because I fully know that you don't believe this, and I'm not going to try to convince you in 10 minutes or 20 minutes or whatever. And so let's move on. And he stopped, which I've had to do this a few times over the year. He stopped and he was like, you're right. That was really inappropriate of me, and I apologize. And so when I call him out on it, he gets it. But it takes him a while, and that's my test. That's my part of our relationship, is that he hits that button. I feel icky. There's part of me that just wants to shrink up and just kind of hide and run away. There's another part that wants to scream and defend myself and be way out of control and inappropriate, so I go to one extreme or the other. And those are from childhood. Those reactions are from childhood. And I know that neither one of those is right, and so this is my test to own my beliefs and own my worth and my right to have my beliefs, even if they're totally different from his, and then to set the boundaries that I need to set. And so there's a whole, it's really challenging with someone who, very specifically on a soul level, is designed to push your deepest buttons. And for me, it is an older, highly intelligent, highly articulate male that has a skill of kind of making me flummox and not, like, I get all tongue-tied and I don't know how to straighten myself out or defend myself, because that was my father. And so obviously that was like, decades ago, and I've really healed that part, but this is how life works. These tests are going to keep coming, and so it's coming now in the guise of not somebody who's abusive or cruel. It's coming through somebody who genuinely loves me. He's very fatherly toward me. He really cares about me greatly, and I know this. So the test is designed with love. This is like the next ripple out, and it's because I've done so much inner work around the stuff with my dad and around my issues of power and worth and speaking my truth and feeling safe. That's why I now have my client, who is really a lovely guy, and he really is very loving toward me. And so I know that when he says things, it's more him kind of putting his foot in his mouth and just kind of not really realizing how harsh some things sound. And so that's my test to respect him and to not be intimidated by him, and to know that this is my time to kind of say, yeah, I'm not comfortable with that line of discussion. We're going to go a different direction, because we already have well established that you don't believe any of this stuff. So he let me know that like the first week that we worked together, and I was like, what are you doing in my practice? But interestingly, as a side note, he has come for a year, and he loves Reiki, and he's so intuitive, and he's so empathic, and he can't reconcile it with his logical mind, but it's there, it's there. And once in a while he kind of lets it out. But anyway, there's a reason he keeps coming. So I really wanted to get online today and talk to you guys about this, because I see him weekly, but it's far and few between that this button gets pushed like that hard, because I'm used to him now. We've worked together for a year, but it got pushed hard tonight, and I was like, oh my God, I'm having a reaction. And the poor guy was totally oblivious, because that's how he is. So, so basically, it was a perfect example of what a soul contract is. He and I, on a soul level, contracted to be client and practitioner in a really intimate way, that we're going to get to know each other emotionally and energetically, and I'm going to be doing Reiki with him, and therapy, mental health counseling. I mean, we're really connected, but in a way that it's going to push my buttons, so that I stand up for myself and I set my boundaries, and it's going to push his buttons, because it really, when I call him out, he stops, and he actually has to kind of think about it. And he, to his credit, every time he'll stop and be like, okay, you're right, that was inappropriate, or I crossed the line, or I shouldn't have said that, or I do apologize. But he has to be called out on it, because he's had 60 years to think a different way. But that's the relationship, and that's what I wanted to talk to you guys about. This is what soul contracts are about. It's each of you, the tough ones, the challenging ones, are set up so that you learn things, and he and I are learning so much from each other. And the first few months we were together, I had such anxiety, and I didn't want to work with him, and because I just didn't know how to deal with it. And now, a year into it, I'm like, no, I really see on a soul level what we're learning from each other, and I'm going to keep seeing him until we both feel that, we don't need to do that anymore. So I just felt like I needed to jump on and talk about it while it was fresh. It goes perfectly with the stuff I teach, so I was really excited to talk about soul contracts and deeper soul issues and lessons and things we're working on. Anyway, I keep getting that the connection is low and breaking, so I really hope, I don't know why I'm in my office, but I really hope this whole video came through and that you guys could hear everything. And I'm definitely going to try to do more videos, because I've missed doing this, and this stuff happens all the time where I'm like, oh, this is an educating point, and I want to get online, and then I just, oh my God, it's crazy with a toddler, and things have been a little nuts. But I think hopefully I've broken the ice and gotten back into doing this. I hope this was a good example for you guys. I hope this helped. Let me know. I'd love to hear. I see somebody already, Andrea, commented. Oh, awesome. It helped. Yay. I figured it would, a lot of you would resonate, just because I know a lot of you are professionals, and so you all have clients, and we all have difficult clients, they come and go, but there's definitely always a reason for them. So that's a big point I wanted to get through. There's a huge reason for difficult family members, friends, clients, coworkers, they come in all forms, but bigger reasons than just, man, this relationship's hard and it sucks. There are things to learn from it. So I just wanted to share that. Okay. I'm going on 13 minutes, so I'm going to go, but hopefully this worked, and I will see you guys soon. I promise. All right. Bye, guys.